Hi, it's Mrs. Ellison, and here are this week's book talks. First thing we should tell you is that we are saying goodbye to two literary icons this week. The first one is Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird and also Go Set a Watchman. We have I Am Scout, the biography of Harper Lee, available for checkout this week. The second one is Umberto Eco. His most famous novel is called The Name of the Rose, and here's a version of the cover that we happen to have in the library. And it's a really good mystery. It's set in a monastery in the Middle Ages, and somebody is killing the monks of the monastery in highly inventive ways. We have a limited suspect pool because it's the other brothers of the monastery who are the suspects, and they are dying quickly. And we have our hero on the scene who starts to ask some difficult questions of the monks and starts to realize what is actually going on at the monastery. There are many secrets in this story. If you can't imagine reading all 611 pages of this book, may I recommend the movie, which has Sean Connery in the main title role, and it's pretty awesome. Speaking of loss, I read Gail Forman's I Was Here recently, and the main character in this story is Cody. She has a best friend whose name is Meg. Cody and Meg lived in Eastern Washington up until the moment when Meg moved away to Tacoma to go to college. While she was there, she committed suicide. Cody is reeling from the death of her very best friend. Meg's family has asked Cody to go over to Tacoma to retrieve her belongings. She does that, and she discovers on Meg's laptop that there's an encrypted file that is starting to lead her to believe that Meg's death is not what everybody imagined it to be. I know that this cover has a very sweet looking cover. It looks a little bit like a Lifetime movie. This is not a Lifetime movie. This is a pretty dark novel, and rather quick as well by Gail Forman. So one that is really actually quite sweet is Isla and the Happily Ever After. Isla is her last year in a boarding school in France, so extra points for an interesting setting. And she has had a crush on this one boy, Josh, for quite some time. And suddenly in their senior year, Josh starts to take notice of her. Great, it's true love. Now, here's the problem. True love does not always run smoothly, especially when Josh is kind of a bad boy who keeps on getting trouble with the headmistress of the school. Will he manage to stay in the school, or is he going to get kicked out? That's the big question that might be interrupting Isla's happily ever after. Finally, here are two gross but true reads in the science realm that have been provided to us by a grant from the Washington State Library and the Museum of Library Services Institute. And they are both really interesting. The first one is Phineas Gage, and this is a true story about a man who was in an accident, a workplace accident, and a metal spike rammed into his brain. He lived to tell the tale, but something changed about his personality. What changed about his personality really helped us understand more about brain science. And Red Madness was something that I didn't really know too much about. We don't really have to worry about this problem anymore, but something is making the kids of the American South very, very ill. First, they get lots of red spots on their face and on their chest and on their arms and hands, and then they go mad. It took them about 3 decades to figure out what exactly was going on that was hurting the children. So Red Madness is a really good one as well. We've got many others from this grant that I'll be telling you more about in later episodes of this. So thanks for listening. Back to you.